Nick Townsend from Week 13 has found himself in a book. To tell us more about it, he is with me now, and he'll explain a bit more about what Edward Gellert's been up to over in the US. Hi, Nick. How you doing?
Pleased to meet you. Edward Geller, I met via my agent, Debbie Stewart. She networks with a lot of people in Los Angeles, and we met on the. I was filming in Los Angeles with my agent. She got me connected, like networking wise, with this author. And he specialises in horror. At the time, I was just really interested in his first book, Dark Harvest. It was a really good horror. It was set in during the Rapture. Mm-hmm. So the Rapture's happened, and all the characters have to kind of... They're kind of working out, is this a Rapture, or is this geoengineering, or is this something else? So there's clues in the book. It's really well written. I was absolutely a big fan of it. So I kind of told him I liked his book. Yeah. And I think about 12 months later, he said to me, wouldn't it be funny if your band was in the States during the Rapture? When that happened, I kind of think you'd handle it really well. I just kind of laughed it off, on Facebook. I said, yeah, I'd probably do this and this. And it was just a kind of to and fro in, nothing really going with the idea. I mean, he turned around and he said, I can't want you in the book. And I was trying to work out how that would work. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, we haven't had an apocalypse yet. So how would I be in your book?
Yeah.
And he said, well, what if you were you after the apocalypse in my universe? So
See, an apocalypse can affect your downloads as a band, can't it, really? If there's not so many people around with their iPhones.
Way, maybe in a positive way, because the apocalypse is really popular now, I guess. But,
so they're all on vinyl after the apocalypse?
I imagine it's all analogue.
Yeah.
But, in the book, there's no mention of iPhones. I don't know how that even works, but I'm not really playing gigs during the apocalypse. I'm trying to survive killing demons, and with a series of characters, really well-written characters. There's a French chap, there's all sorts of different people, all together for different reasons in Missouri. And I've kind of entered an already established group of characters. Mm-hmm. So I've been introduced into the series. They've got their kind of hesitations about trusting me or not. And then we develop trust. I don't want to give too much away, but I kill a lot of people. And demons.
Obviously demons. Demons are okay. But is it weird reading about yourself with these exploits? Is that just a wholly odd experience?
Well, it is weird because I haven't killed anyone yet in real life,
which is a good thing.
And these are horrible creatures I'm killing, and the way it works is because I wasn't expecting this. When he approached me and he said, "I like you in the book," he knew me a little bit, but he had to watch a lot of interviews, see how I talk, how I react to certain words I'd use, mannerisms, and at first when he gave me some chapters to work with, just so he could work out if the character was developing more to sound like me. And at first, I did pick up on a few things. I said, well, I wouldn't talk like that. That sounds a bit like kind of London Cockney. And I was just kind of giving him a few ideas about how I would probably answer certain questions. I wasn't writing the book. It's all him. He wrote it. And he really surprised me because there's a part in the book where I can tell he watched a lot of interviews of me, because there's one interview where I talk about my school days. Mm-hmm. And he does a kind of flashback kind of scene where he goes to my first school and he describes it really well. I'm like, how did he know? Of course, he must have seen an interview, but I wasn't. It kind of surprised me. So there's times where in the book it flashes back to what would probably be now, mm-hmm. or anything before the apocalypse, which is basically means in this series, other people could probably end up in the book if it was connected to the story, I suppose.
So, anyone possibly from your past could suddenly sneak in there.
This right now, this could be an important moment. Well, I can't give away too much about what my character does or doesn't do in the series without giving away too many bits of plot, really.
We don't want spoilers. Spoilers are bad.
Yeah, I'd rather people read this book, because to be honest, a lot of people have read the book already and they've warmed to my character and they've realised I'm actually a real person, mm-hmm. which is for them quite fascinating, because they've got to know a character and they realise he's actually real. So that was weird.
Yeah, I can imagine it must be particularly odd. And again, you're reading this back, trying to work out if he's got what you think you appear like. But your friends and family must also have read this and gone, well, yeah, that's Nick to a T, or hang on, yeah, maybe Nick wouldn't have done quite that, even though you think you would.
Well, they've probably always thought I'd kill somebody one day, but now they can read about it and how I do it in grotesque detail.
But only demons.
Demonic people.
Yeah.
Very demonic people and swarms of other things. But the book is horror. It's really well written. I like the style of writing. And because this is me being in this book, I wouldn't have trusted any old person to have done this. Edward is a fantastic writer. He does his research. He really spent a lot of time making sure I was happy. Mm-hmm. I didn't have anything to do with the plot. I might have suggested a few things. But it's down to him how this character runs in the book. I was expecting a small appearance. He became a main character. So when I found that I was a main character, that was a lot of responsibility on my shoulders, because I thought, what if nobody likes this character? And apparently he's really popular. Or I'm really popular, apparently, in the apocalypse.
Well, that's good. I mean, if you're going to find your place anywhere, an apocalypse is a good place to do it.
Yeah, there's less critics in the apocalypse, and if they are, I can just hit them with a big hammer.
Yeah, because they must have been demonic.
Yeah, demons and other horrible, nasty creatures. And this book's really, it's not just like a typical kind of Walking Dead zombie kind of thing. It's very, the way it's written, if you know the Bible really well, and you see the level of research the author has done on making the rapture seem as if it really has taken place on earth, you will love this book, because everything is connected. It's all believable if you imagine the rapture had just happened.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic read. I wouldn't just say read it because I'm in it. I'd say read it if you like horror, and I'm a big horror fan.
So is it worthwhile reading the first in the series and then progressing on to the second one? So
I would,
yeah.
But some people might just want to see me. But I would say
that's understandable.
I read both books,
yeah.
And there's going to be a third one and possibly more after that.
Now, do you know whether you feature in the third yet? Or again, can't we talk about that?
I know if I do or don't.
Okay. Again, an unusual experience. And how do the rest of the band feel about this?
Well, I think they were just a little bit. I think they thought. I told them about this about a year ago. And I think they probably just thought, oh, it's probably just a name of the book. You know, probably mentioned it. I don't think they're expecting whole chunks of storyline and me running through Missouri with axes and hammers and saving or being saved by different characters in the books, and their names are mentioned in the book as well, because I will talk about my band. I think one thing I'd say is realistically I would talk about my band. My partner was a little bit disappointed because she's kind of in the book, because I mentioned I want to get back to England, and has everyone got a plane or something I can get over there, but because she wasn't mentioned by name, she was a little bit that close to getting mentioned, but my band members get in.
Yeah, which is cool. I remember as a kid, it was the in thing to have your kids' names in a book, and you've got one step further because you've got a horror story, which is absolutely brilliant. So how do people find out more about the book initially? What's the website for the author?
Well, he's got various websites. He's on Twitter, but just go on Amazon, really. You either type in the author's name, Edward Gellert, or the series, which is Children of Enoch, and you can find Reaping Sorrows and Dark Harvest, and they're both on there. I mean, it's a US book, but if you go on UK Amazon, you can order it there, and I know people have done that. I've done it as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I couldn't wait for him to send me my copy, so I ordered a copy before he got me my signed one. Mm-hmm. So I know it can be done.
It means you don't have to worry about damaging the signed one. Then you can keep that.
I want one to throw around and hey everyone, and the other one has to be kept in mint condition.
Yeah, absolutely pristine. Well, that's the way to do it. Well, Week 13, obviously doing fantastic things as well. Give us the website for that if people want to find out more about the music behind the tour, behind the apocalypse, behind everything else that's in this book.
Well, I'm hoping we won't have an apocalyptic situation, but we have got a lot of good things happening with the band in the next few months. It's Week 13, which is WEAK13, official.com, and it's got music. It's got our album on there, and we'll be putting links to the book on there pretty soon when we speak to our web people. But the book's out there. You can get that on Amazon. If you like the music, that's a bonus. Yeah, and lots of people do, and it's really nice they do. I think they're quite happy to see we've kind of hit American shores in a way they didn't expect. Yeah.
Absolutely, and saving people from particularly demonic, nasty pieces of work as well, all with your magic hammer in effect.
Yeah, and I always wear these gloves apparently. I'll tell you, I never actually used to wear gloves, but my character in the Apocalypse does. So if anyone wonders why is Nick always wearing gloves all the time, it's because I've picked up that my character in the book kind of wears these gloves, so I thought, I'll start wearing gloves a bit more, and I actually realised they suit me. So
looking good. So as life imitates art and vice versa, and back again, look out for Nick Townsend in a fantastic series of books, and who knows what's going to happen next. Nick, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Cheers.